has been the center of the college sports world the last 72 hours. The Oklahoma Sooners soccer team looks to put an exclamation point on a special weekend as the Sooners and Matt Mott square off against Omaha. Live Sunday Soccer on SEC Network Plus. There he is, Sooner head coach Matt Mott, off to an incredible start, a record-setting start for Oklahoma. Meanwhile, on the Omaha side of things, they're trying to break a recent 3-match winless streak. Along with Coach Nick McMillan, I'm Chris Plank. Welcome to Norman, Oklahoma. But the Sooners are looking to try to get some of their mojo back here today.
You know, they've had a slow past few games, after that really hot start. And so I'm interested to see how this game goes, looking towards SEC play.
And one player that's really started to step her game up is Kayla Kiefer, the Ole Miss transfer. Watch out, she's getting hot.
You know, when you speak to the Sooners coaching staff, the one thing they say is when she finds the back of the net, it comes in bunches. They are super high on her. She's got 3 goals in her last 4 games, and they are looking to get her more active today.
Meanwhile, on the Omaha side of things, we'll be saying the name Maggie Gunderson a lot today. She's got a little history with Oklahoma.
You know, Maggie Gunderson has 1 career collegiate goal, and it's that goal right there against the Oklahoma Sooners in 2023. You know, when you speak to the coaching staff, they say that she is just a pivotal part of the back line. She's the glue that kind of keeps this team together, and they need her to be really big today.
How about that? The only goal she's had, as Coach mentioned, in 2023 in Omaha. This is only the second meeting between these two programs. We got starting lineup, start of the match coming up next. You're watching Oklahoma and Omaha on SEC Network Plus. Along with the coach Nick McMillan, I'm Chris Plank. Should be a fun one. Here's how Tim Walters will go starting this match off, and be keeping an eye on Charlotte Huggard. They've got a deep list of goalkeepers in their starting line. It's Marquette and Purdue transfer. She's got a chance to do something special. She's been hard to score on so far this year too. Anything else jump out with the Omaha lineup that caught your eye this week?
No, just when you look at their lineup, it'll be a little bit more defensive, to try to withstand this potent Sooner attack.
Yeah, keep an eye on Addie LaRock, very active in the midfield. All right, for Matt Mott and the Oklahoma Sooners, a little bit of a different look today. We know the star Caroline Duffy is going to be in the net for the Sooners, the absolute standout goalkeeper for Oklahoma, but a little different approach here from Matt Mott today.
Yeah, this is the first time this season they're going to this 4-3-3, which is a little bit different. They normally run this 5-3-2, and so the biggest difference here is now going from a 3-back to a 4-back. And so I'm interested to see how they line up and kind of how they attack going forward.
Anything that, in your opinion, that's an indication of what, be better at getting back, be better at attacking? Anything that jumps out?
I think the biggest indication is, and we've spoke about it, in the past few weeks, is that Clifton is now healthy. I think they had to run that 3-back out of necessity since Clifton wasn't there at the first beginning games. And now that she's ready, it's how do you kind of line up with her? She's played over more than 4,000 minutes for the Sooner team, and so you're kind of sitting there saying, well, how, we can't just leave her out. She's a pivotal part of defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of formation changes as the Sooners go.
3-year starter for the Sooners. Over 4,200 minutes, as Nick just mentioned. But it's been dinged up. And now she's starting to matriculate herself back into the lineup. Matt Mott finding unique ways to get her involved. Good look there at Maggie Gunderson. There's the Sooners huddled up, and we're ready to go. It's Oklahoma and Omaha. The Sooners 6-0-1, their best start through 7 matches. Omaha 2-2-1. They started the season 2-0, but have not been able to get a win in their last 3. There's Matt Mott's done an incredible job in his first handful of seasons here at Oklahoma. 3rd season overall, 10-7-1 last year. Really has changed the attitude on this for this team and for this program.
We speak about it all the time. Norman has drank the Matt Mott juice. He has really come in and changed everything. And one of the things that we always mention is that he's got a great coaching staff behind him. He's got Jessica Hiskey, Richard Beebe, Warren Russ, and the director of operations, Georgia Russell. They have been with him the whole time, and so they have really all bought in. And it's really you can see the success for the Sooner team.
Adley Morrell went down. Going to get a free kick here for the Sooners. From what I've been able to tell with this Omaha team, pretty physical team. Come up and get you. Towards the box, that one's going to be headed out. Opportunity here for Michelle Pack to try to reset. Sooners get a throw in on the far side. Good crowd. They have found the shade in the stands here. Handful of those braving what is in a warmer day than maybe we have typically had. Here's a potential opportunity. Good cross. 1-on-4. Just a little high on the shot. A little bit too much from El Canty. Oklahoma aggressive here early on, Nick.
You know, and just her second start, you know, El Canty's previous start was against Tulsa where she scored 2 goals. And so, you know, they're maybe looking to use her goal contributions that she had. You know, she scored 105 goals in high school. And so they're really, you know, maybe saying, hey, let's add more to this potent Sooners attack.
Naomi Clark seems shot out of a cannon here early. She'll challenge near the end line. And pretty smart play there by Jasmine Brown. Just will get the goal kick here for Charlotte Huggard and Omaha. Ooh, good push by Kayla Kiefer. You think they just didn't see Kiefer lurking? Possession for Pack. Now Oklahoma will try to set something up here. Top of the box. See if Pack doesn't rip one here. She'll work towards the far side. Good ball towards the middle of the box. It's loose. Shot wide. Naomi Clark had a beautiful look as defenders were falling all around her. And the ball came right to her, Nick, just a bit wide.
You know, that was a beautiful ball in. You kind of see almost Clark and Kiefer ran into each other. But when you're in that moment, that's what good goal scorers do. They just find, you know, a way to put their body on it. And she just toe pokes that just a little bit wide. And so really unfortunate not to be 1-0 for the Sooners.
First good moment. And I say it came to her. I guess we got to give her credit. She was able to control that amidst a lot of traffic. Tipped here by Rock to clear. Good battle, good pressure by Kiefer. Nothing is easy for Omaha. Now they catch a little bit of a break. Grace Bartlam will try to work things up. Finally into the Sooner side, but Charlie Court can't control it. It'll be a throw-in for Oklahoma.
You know, and if you're the Mavericks right now, you really want to get on the ball for more than 2 or 3 passes. You know, this start has just been all OU. I mean, it's just been in your face, just an extreme high press. And so if you're the Mavericks, you need to get on the ball. You need to just kind of breathe for a little bit, because if you keep on playing the way that you're playing, very fast and just unorganized, this Sooner team will rip you apart. They have the abilities technically and goal scoring wise where they can just start pinging the ball around, and it's going to be a long day. So the Omaha Mavericks have really got to just breathe and get a few passes together as they start this game.
I'll work it ahead to LaRock. LaRock, a little bit of room for Bartlam to work with. Good battle, Bartlam right now, and Riley Brown. Sooners get the throw in. I haven't talked too much yet about Tim Walters in his 9th season now as the Omaha coach. Won the league championship in the Summit League in 22 and 23 and made the NCAA tournament in 22, which was the first trip for Omaha to the NCAA tournament in program history. That 22 team started the year 1-6-3, but won the league and the postseason tournament. Here's a shot. Oh, and a goal! A beautiful opportunity. And Oklahoma's Lexi Dennis makes them pay. Dindis makes them pay. 1-0 Sooners.
Beautiful goal there by Dindis. And it's the thing that we're not going to talk about enough is just the control that she had on this ball. So first off, it's just a gorgeous ball there by Haddon Morrell. Look at the touch. Boom. Drops it. Sets herself up. Right-footed shot. She's normally a left footer, and so she's definitely going to be excited about scoring with her right foot, as you saw there, her cheering a little bit. But that is just a beautiful piece of play there by the Sooners, and it is a goal that has been coming.
Wow. Oklahoma has been attacking right out of the gates today, and Dindis hits Pater. 1-0 Sooners. I don't think you'll see any of that pressure slow down from Oklahoma at all. Washington watches that one go untouched. Brown looking for a little bit more. It's not there. Battle here between LaRock and Washington. It will stay Omaha's possession. Bartlam has the throw in. everything has been contested, Nick. Everything. Nothing has come easy here in the first part of this contest for Omaha at all.
And that's just what the Sooners do really well. The Sooners will just press you, press you, press you. You know, that is a typical Coach Matt Mott team. You know, when you speak to opposing coaches, they will say, hey, we know exactly how he wants to play. Just high intensity in your face, just really get after you. And that's what the Sooners team has really done well this year. We've got a few great transfers who have really upped the athleticism for the Sooner team. And they just are a beautiful thing to watch once they get firing on all cylinders.
Good challenge by Canty. The throw-in will be for Barth. Omaha looking to answer back after Oklahoma strikes first. On the goal by Dindis. Throw in for Washington. Curious to talk to whomever ends up being our player of the match. And again, we got a long way to go, but it just seems as if there was one clear message, and that Matt Mott saw a lot of the things, Nick, that you've seen. His team needed a little bit of an energy boost the last few matches, and they're getting it here.
You know, when you speak to Coach Matt Mott, he was really saying, hey, you know, we haven't been firing on all cylinders. You know, there's been some things that, you know, the past few games, we've just been a little sluggish. We've been a little slow. And so to get a goal in the first 4 minutes of this game, that just speaks to what they've kind of been working on in training. And so Omaha's got to be really worried right now, because if you look at the recent games that OU has, once they score in bunches. And so they've really got to kind of buckle in, or it's just going to get out of hand pretty quick.
Got a couple goal scorers that are getting hot for OU as well. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. Brown's going to survey, gets it up to Washington. From the near side of the field, Washington goes 1-on-2. Tries to split the defenders. Nearly pulled it off. Good defense, though, from Grace Barlam, who's been a little bit of everywhere here so far for Omaha. Takeaway by Pack. This is Canty. Canty, right foot, top of the box, cleared out for now. But here's that Oklahoma attack again, relentless. Morel is there. Out to Washington. She has some space. Cross to the middle. That hit a handball. It comes free. It's a goal. Almost looked like it hit the hand of an Omaha defender, but Naomi Clark corralled it and hammers it in the back of the net. It's 2-zip Sooners. What a start.
Stop us if we've said this before. Naomi Clark goal. I mean, she is just on fire currently at the moment. I mean, anytime she's in front of goal, as you saw there, beautiful ball in here by Washington. Takes an unlucky little deflection there, but, you know, Clark is there. She's always ready to go. You know, she is that just attacking that goal-scoring threat that this Sooners team has been looking for. You know, and she is leading this team with goals right now. I mean, that was just a beautiful, hungry goal scorer's goal.
2-zip Sooners. What a start. Dindis and Clark. And for Oklahoma, 38 goals last year. That was number 22 and 23 to start this season. By the way, the 38 goals last year was a school record. 23 so far. Pretty good indication that that record could be in peril. We're, I mean, legitimately just out of the box here today, and it's 2-zip.
You know, we spoke before the North Texas game. The Sooners, if they were on pace at that moment for 72 goals this season, you know, because they were averaging about 4 goals a game. And so the Sooners are just flying on all cylinders. And when you look at their scoring, it's not just one person that's scoring all the time. Yes, Clark has 7 goals in the season now, but you see that just they've got more than 10, I think it's 12 Sooners now that have found the back of the net. This Sooners team is extremely potent, and they will fire on all cylinders.
Good D on the far side. And Lexi Dindis doing a little bit of everything here today. Omaha throw-in. Down 2 quickly. Well, here come the Sooners again. No whistle, but a bounce right to Kiefer. Sooners have the throw-in, much to the demise of Charlie Court, who was trying to sell it as Omaha possession. Squirted free to Clark. Naomi battling on the far side with Emma Hampton. Hampton wins this one. Something Omaha desperately needed. Will work it back to the box. Brown. That didn't look like the smoothest pass. Oklahoma takes advantage of it.
You know, and that's what I was mentioning. Just Omaha right now is just kind of just at 6s and 7s all across the field. You know, they're just not really firing on all cylinders. They're kind of making some errant pass.
And
this
Washington.
OU press is just unstoppable right now.
Washington had momentum. What do we got? Oh, they're going to call Omaha.
You know, it looked more like a coming together right there, so that's a little bit unfortunate for Omaha. But that just speaks to this high press this Sooners team is going. The second they lose the ball, they are just on top of you, just ready to get the ball back. And so I'm going to be interested to see. Normally Sophie Morin takes these free kicks, so I'm interested to see how this free kick's going to get taken. Looks like Hadley Morell is the one that's eyeing up this now. Looks like they just switched to Michelle Pack to get this free kick. Interested to see what they're going to do here.
Pack lobs it. Nice play by Hugger to just say, I got this. She'll try to get an Omaha attack going here, but not without the watchful eye of Kaylee Kiefer right there waiting to see wherever she goes with it. I mean, there's nobody there right now that doesn't have a white jersey in front of them. Brown will control it back to the Sooner side just for a moment, though. Good battle. A little bit too aggressive to try to get Blanc, Breath, Fakiani involved. All-time great names that we've had in soccer on the SEC Network Plus. Well, here's maybe one of the better runs that Omaha has had. Sooners have numbers back. Far side push by Schmidt. Schmidt being guarded tightly by Dindes, and now taken away by Pack. Here come the Sooners. Ahead of Naomi Clark. Clark. Big lead. Is it enough?
If Kiefer can find this pass in the middle, it's wide open.
Jasmine Brown, wide open in the middle, is an opportunity for Morell. They get it to her. Goal! Oklahoma!
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All that is done from Naomi Clark. She starts it. And then Kiefer, we spoke on her in the open. What can't she do right now? She is just so smart right there. That is a goal scorer. She was getting ready to go into, or getting ready to dribble into the box. Beats the first little defender there. You see here, she's sizing her up. She knows that Morell is just in the middle. She waits. Right here, gets her heads up, boom. And you know, you're not gonna miss that. I mean, that is just a beautiful pass right across the center there. And Morell needs to get her a thank you card because that is the easiest goal she will score in her career.
Hadley Morell hit Freebird. Fans are loving this start. Third goal of the season in the 11th minute. Hadley Morell makes it 3-zip Sooners. Wow. What a start to this one. That's left Tim Walters looking for answers. Kayla Kiefer with the incredible assist on that. I give her 2 points for that assist. Are we allowed to do that or not? I mean, it was a gorgeous pass.
I'm not going to tell you no.
There's another takeaway by Oklahoma. There's Kiefer battling. Instead, they'll just work the far side. Oklahoma will take their time on the attack. Now another beautiful ball to the top of the box, headed out. Reset for a moment by Pack. Now Pack's got a little room to work. Sooners will reset. Canty has it taken away from her for now. A little physicality as Omaha clears it out. Doberstein is checked into the game. Kendall Doberstein for Omaha. Now another opportunity. Look out. Kiefer, left-footed pass towards the middle of the box. Nobody's home. Cleared out by Barton.
That was right behind Kiefer there. Dindes with a great ball in. Just Kiefer overran that run. But you can see here the Sooners are just relentless right now. Omaha has got to find one or two of those passes just to kind of give them a chance to breathe a little bit. And so that would allow them to kind of say, hey, you know, this game has just been hot and heavy the first 10, 15 minutes. And so if they can connect one or two passes and just say, hey, you know, we've played soccer before. We know what we're doing. Let's kind of be a little bit calm, and maybe they can work their way back into this game because right now it is all Sooners.
Caroline Duffy, I don't even know if she's technically been registered with a shot on goal yet by Omaha. Or at the very least, maybe even a shot.
You know, and we call it Duffy's Kingdom because, you know, when you look at the goals allowed on this Sooners team, it is .5. I mean, that is less than a goal a game. You know, when you look at their 7 games so far, 3 of them have been shutouts. And the other 4 goals, they've just let in 1 goal per game. I mean, Duffy has come up big, and it speaks to how well the Sooner team played because, you know, there's a lot of times where she doesn't face a lot of shots. And so for her staying active and keeping that low goals allowed average really speaks to how good of a goalkeeper she is.
Pack, good battle going on here with Gunderson. Omaha will settle for just letting their defense breathe a bit. Tim Walters tries to find a way to make Caroline Duffy's day a little bit more challenging. 5th in the SEC last year for saves. 3-0 Sooners. Might not be done yet. Can't. Trying to get control and turn the corner. Washington, a lot of black jerseys. Why not? She'll try to the middle of the box. Oh, it comes free. Look out. Shot by Kiefer. What a save. Huggard makes an incredible save, taking away a goal on a ball that found Kiefer, and she made something happen. But the save of the match so far.
You know, what a touch there by Kiefer, but that ball is getting hit right across your goal box. Boom, and then she comes up big for the next save. I mean, she has got to be active. And, you know, believe it or not, even though the Sooners are up 3-0, that was her first actual save that she's had to make. And so she came up big with that save.
Yep. That's her first save. That's the first save for either goalie so far here today. Goalkeeper Caroline Duffy hasn't seen a shot. Confirmed by the official stats. Brock and his crew do an incredible job. Oh, Washington a header, just a little bit wide. Didn't get much on that. And it'll be a goal kick here for Charlotte Hug. I mean, Nick, we got to catch our breath, man. What a fiery start for this squad.
You know, and speaking of catching her breath, I think that was a position that Alexis Washington has only been in a handful of times. You know, she, you know, if I could count how many times I've said Alexis Washington has headed the ball towards goal, normally it's the other way around. She's making that cross so someone could head her in. So maybe a little bit of nerves there why she didn't get a good proper head on strike on the ball. But like you said, this Sooners team is just on fire to start this game.
One of the better runs Omaha has had. Passed a little bit too long, though, and we'll trust the senior. Duffy clears it away. Beautiful angle. I mean, absolutely no chance at all for Hayden Ivins to do anything with it because of the good defense from Alexis Washington. Communication there and a missed header from Gunderson. Here's an opportunity that Canty wants to take. Sooners now 3-on-6 here. Canty says that's not going to stop me, but the Omaha defense does.
That was a beautiful piece of skill there by the freshman. And one of the things that I've really been asking the Sooners to do these past few weeks is when they have that space, just carry into it. You know, last year, this Sooners team would just try to play the ball early. This year, they're realizing that space. They're kind of carrying it into it, which is causing more and more defenders to step, which is getting people out of position, which is allowing them to score more goals as we've been seeing.
That actually hit right off the Omaha defender. The Sooners will have a throw-in. What a veteran play by Dindis.
You know, they are just throwing their body, this Omaha team. They are just trying to throw everything they can in front of this just potent Sooners attack right now, and they are just putting their body on the line, as you saw right there.
There's wide of Dindis. Oklahoma not even taking a breath. Here comes the attack again. It comes free to Canty. Canty will give Washington an opportunity to run the show. Or pardon me, that's Brown. Riley Brown. Good ball to the middle of the box. Cleared back out. And Pack just swarms right in. Washington has it blocked. And a good job by Addie LaRock. Her mom, Jessica LaRock, was on Omaha's first ever soccer team back in 1999. Here's a beautiful ball ahead to Morrell. Morrell, though, on another nice play by Lauren Schmidt, has it taken away. Gunderson pressured by Washington. Gunderson saying it's Omaha's throw-in, pleading. She gets the call.
You can tell what she was trying to do there. You know, that's that leadership. She was just trying to say, hey, it's our ball. Let's get forward. Let's start to try to take into this Sooner space. Because what's happening here, if you look at the Sooners team, I mean, for majority of this game, they have been on the opposing half. And so she's just trying to tell her team, hey, we've got to get up inch by inch to just steal some space, or we're just going to allow for the Sooners to continue to press us for this whole game.
Oh, Kiefer, cross. What a header. Is there a chance here for Clark to turn it? No, she'll work it back out to Washington. Boy, Washington's got some room here if she wants it. Beautiful pass, tipped away. It's loose. Was there a handball there? No. Good battle by Morrell. And she goes down. There'll be a whistle. What are we going to get?
Looks like a little shove there on a free kick. Sooners start quick with Alexis Washington out wide.
What a ball. Middle of the box. Headed away. And just beyond the reach of Kayla Kiefer, throwing for Oklahoma on the far side. They'll send El Canty over to take care of that. Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. It's been nonstop for Oklahoma so far.
You know, and that was one of the things we were asking on. How are they going to react after that slow kind of that game that they had last Thursday? You know, how are they going to play this game? And you can tell whatever Matt Mott really worked on this week has been working just to a T. I mean, that is, as a coach, those are the things you dream of, you know, putting a plan into place. And right now it is working to perfection.
Alexis Washington. She'll work towards the top of the 18 box. Physicality as well. Charlie Court. Lauren Schmidt pushing back for Omaha. Sooners will have a throw in. Riley Brown will take it. One on three. Not something you usually have a shot. Clark, though, stays aggressive. Schmidt just has to lob it up. Oh, what a use of her body by Naomi Clark. Pass a little bit too far. Clark stays aggressive. Omaha will boot it away.
Beautiful turn there by Clark, and that's just what she does best. You know, when we spoke at the very beginning of the year, who is going to be, you know, that forward for the Sooners team this year? You know, we were just really worried on what that attack was going to look like. And Clark can just do so much. You know, she can really be a hold-up center forward. She can be one of those that can get in behind, you know. And that was just a beautiful piece of skill by Clark.
Still tons of time left in this first half. Sooners up 3-0. Every pass has been defended, contended, whatever term you want to use. Job by Legan to try to keep that in play, but Omaha will have a throw in. It's like Lauren Schmidt's gonna do the duties. 50 career matches, 4th year in the program at Omaha. Opportunity. Oh, good defense. Well, still free, and Brown will clear it out. Oh, that was a big time play by El Canty that came in to get a piece of that. And they finally get the handball call.
One of the things to note that we've already seen here from the Sooners is it must have been something they've been working on, is just playing quick out of those free kicks. The last 2 free kicks that the Sooners have had, they've just, you know, set the ball down and really tried to get right back into play.
Legan does a good job challenging the attack by Kendall Doberstein. Look at Doberstein out of Omaha, Gretna East High School. Won 4 straight high school state titles, as we'll see a couple of fresh faces for the Sooners. Juliet Rayo, sophomore out of Wiley, Texas. Had 3 goals last year. including a penalty kick goal and an assist in the Sooners' 4-1 win over Ole Miss. Ooh, tough fall. Sophie Morin, who checked in, looks to be okay. Allie Brown chases that down. And it'll be thrown for Omaha. Anything you've seen differently, Nick, that Omaha has tried to do here to offset the Sooners' aggressiveness?
What they've been doing is they've been trying to play through this press. So one of the things that the Sooners have to be wary of whenever you send so many bodies forward, if you don't do it properly, and if if everyone's not on the same page, one pass can kind of break down your whole press. And so Omaha has kind of realized that now, and they're just playing the ball long, and they're skipping the initial first line of press, which is now giving Omaha this corner kick and is giving them a little momentum going forward.
First corner for either team. Washington comes up with it. Sooners avoid disaster for now. Quickly back in. Oh, what a challenging angle, at least off the foot at the top of the box from Addie LaRocque, but just wide. This is the first opportunity that Duffy has had to put her foot into one. Beautiful header forward by Morin. See that juice that Rayo's brought in. Just got away from Washington. Sooners will try to reset. Egan will chase it down. They'll go back to Duffy. Here we go. Starting to see Omaha get a little bit more aggressive too. That one right to the foot of Canty. Sooners might have something if they can work it cross field. Oh, beautiful header.
What a touch.
What a beautiful pass. Turns.
What a beautiful play. Oh my.
Goal, Kayla Kiefer. She got free on an absolutely brilliant touch. And the Sooners are all over the Mavericks. It's 4-0.
You know, I thought the touch from Dindis was good, but watch this touch here. Dink sets it down. Beautiful 1-2 there with Clark, and boom. I mean, just what a beautiful set of play. That is a beautiful pass there by Clark to slot it in. And like we mentioned earlier, when Kiefer is hot, she is hot. She is finding the back of the net, and she is someone that this Sooners team is really wanting to continue this hot goal-scoring start.
4 in her last 5. And Oklahoma is having themselves a Sunday afternoon. Good battle here. Okay, who's got it? Going to give. They're going to bring up Duffy to take care of the responsibilities for Oklahoma.
And this is a position, when you speak to Coach Matt Mott, they really like Duffy playing this ball in because it allows you to have another attacker on goal. But Duffy can just play a beautiful ball in, and she already has 2 assists on the season so far.
And Matt Mott got to be happy with what he's seen so far. Oh, wow. What a ball. The middle of the box. Nearly an own goal if it would have been more on target. Aina Ivins helps clear it out, but not for long. Morin's going to reset the Sooner attack. A little bit too far maybe for Kiefer to chase down. She finally does. Boy, the Sooners have been spectacular in putting these balls in scoring opportunities. 1 on 5, but now clearing out a bit is Rayo. She'll reset. Canty works to Washington. Washington 1-on-1. Beautiful footwork towards the inline to cross. Goal kick. Boy, Washington is having herself a day. She's been involved, it seems, Nick, in a little bit of everything. Hustle, defense, touch, passing. Hey, she's done it all.
I mean, we say it all the time. I mean, there's a reason why she is the Sooners' all-time leading assist leader. I mean, she just can do so much for this team. And if you look at the start of the season, we were wondering, what is she going to bring to this team? And she's just bringing just that. She's bringing a little bit of everything. She's passing. She's been in the right moment. She's defending. You know, her role has really changed with the Sooners team this year, and she is just loving every minute of it because now, you know, it seems that every ball she puts in, the Sooners have someone attacking those balls. And so, you know, I spoke about it that I expect her all-time leading assist to get a little bit higher, and I think it's going to continue today.
Legan's going to work it back to Duffy. Four nothing Sooners. Guess who? Washington again. Trying to get to the middle of the field. Nothing there, though. Luciana Sededicate. Beautiful cross to Legan. Sooners are pushing the defense up. Top of the box, nothing home. Good
Beautiful
challenge. Sophie Morin. Look out, here comes Washington. Quick pass, beautiful play to get away from it by Maggie Gunderson. Here's side Schmidt. Schmidt working 1-on-2. Gets it ahead on the attack to Ivins. Ivins tries to work 1-on-2, has it taken away. Late whistle. Omaha free kick.
You know, and that's what you're speaking about for Omaha. You know, they broke that initial line of pressure, and then they were able to get something going forward. So we need to see more of that if you're Omaha. But you saw there when they won that free kick, I mean, there were 4 Sooners around her, and, you know, they are just being relentless in this press so far this game.
Omaha has been credited now with 2 shots, none of them on goal. Oklahoma 8 shots, 5 on goal, 4 goals, and the only shot on goal that didn't hit the back of the net was an incredible save by Charlotte Hugg. Kiefer puts it up towards the midfield line out of nowhere. Sededicate tried to make a play on it, but Omaha ends up getting possession, though the Sooners will have the throw-in on the far side. Well-deserved break by our 4, Kayla Kiefer. Washington's going to get a break. Brynlin Mulaney will come in, as will Sammy Edwards for Omaha. Good job by our stat crew keeping tabs on that. And Mod rotating in a few fresh bodies, as is Tim Walters. Also maybe looking anything for Coach Walters to try to get something going with this Omaha attack. Oh, what a slide, what a takeaway. Here come the Sooners. Sededicate, far side. Beautiful ball up ahead on the touch to Mulaney, but Mulaney can't control, and Omaha will have the throw. I say can't control, that's unfair. That's a tough ball to probably control anyway.
You know, but for her standards, though, Sededicate has been so clean this season on just being able to control those balls, and so she's probably going to want that back, but that just speaks to the standard this team has this year, that everything they want to do it with such pristine precision that, you know, when they have a bad touch like that, they get upset. You know, that's something they really highlight with this Sooners team, is that they not only look at some of the, you know, mishaps they do, but those little touches, that's what makes this team different. They're trying to find the little things to say, hey, we could have been better there.
Stolen. Sededicate is battling. She's obviously frustrated after that last touch. Comes away to the Mavericks. Cross block. Corner kick. Is that Riley Brown again? I feel like I say this with about 4 or 5 players. They've been everywhere. Alexis Washington is on the bench right now, but I mean, Riley Brown's been everywhere for Oklahoma. She's been in the middle of it all. Now corner here.
No, she's been all over the field, and when you spoke to Coach Matt Mott at the beginning of the year, they were expecting Riley Brown to be good, but I don't think they expect her to be as good as she's been for the Sooners so far.
Doberstein will take the corner. Coach Tim Walters came running down the sidelines, seemed upset about something. High in the middle of the box, it's free. Good look, off the top of the crossbar. Still loose, cleared out. Oh, an incredible look for Peyton Ivins. And it doinked off the top of the crossbar. Wow. What a tough break for the Mavericks. The Sooners try to clear, and they will. Good job to get in there defensively. Sedekate. Now havoc being played in the Omaha side of the field. Good pressure by Mulaney. For Omaha, Barlam will get a chance to maintain possession for Omaha.
And if you're Omaha, those are moments that you want to win. Whenever you put a ball in the box, anything can happen. Mistakes can be made. You see the ball kind of drop down there, and just really unfortunate not to find the right side of the crossbar there. But I mean, once again, just a beautiful piece of play. But that's where the Sooners have got to be nervous about. They can't give up the easy corners and the easy throws. They've got to be on top of their game, even though they're winning 4-0.
Omaha's had the better scoring opportunities over the last few minutes, and there's another opportunity a little wide off the foot of Addie LaRock. Sooners will substitute in here with 11:45 remaining. A little break here late for El Canty. She's been outstanding. But stop me if I've said this a lot. Most of the Sooners have had an opportunity have been outstanding. Allie Guthrie, freshman out of Prestonwood Christian, Plano, Texas, in for the Sooners. And this one will go against the Sooners.
And that just speaks to how deep this Sooners team is. I mean, that was only El Canty's second ever career start. Yes, she's played in every game, but as a freshman, they trust her enough to say, you know what, we're going to throw you into this environment. We're going to see how you can do since you had such a good success from the first start. And, and just anyone they bring off the bench, Coach Matt Mott has had success with so far this season. And so, it has got to be a dream to be him, to go to bed and be like, man, whatever I'm doing, it works all the time.
4 goals by the Sooners, 4 different scores. 4-0, waning moments of the first half. Caroline Duffy, who hasn't been very active, only 4 shots by Omaha today. One of those off the top of the crossbar, and what's considered a save. 8 shots by the Sooners, 5 of those on goal. Pardon me, they did not credit that a save off the top of the crossbar. I apologize. 10 first half goals this season for Oklahoma. Lexi Dindis 4 minutes in. Naomi Clark added 1. Hadley Morrell and Kayla Kiefer. Battle in the midfield. Rayo wins it. That one tipped away. And a handball. Too aggressive there for Presley Douglas. Ashley Tudis has checked in for Oklahoma as well. She'll be positioned right at the top of that 18 box. Off the foot of Morin. Oh, there's an opportunity. Omaha clears it away though for now, but not out of danger. Doberstein has it taken away. An aggressive push, but too much. And a good defensive play as well. Credit Doberstein bouncing back, and a good push by Sophie Morin you see there.
Morin is not afraid to throw herself into a tackle, and you kind of saw there, she won the first one, had a little bit of a heavy touch, but was already ready to go just gung-ho into that second tackle. The ball kind of deflects. That was a good piece of defending there. But you just see what she kind of brings to the Sooners team. She's just not afraid to put her body on the line. We've said that once or twice this season.
Kayla Hassler has checked in for Omaha in her 4th season as well. Crowd responding to every challenge from the Sooners. And they're finding a way to make every pass a challenge. This one taken away by Tudis. So Oklahoma will look maybe just control possession here a bit. Not so fast. Stolen. Good push for Omaha. Court from the far side, challenged by Brown. It'll stay Omaha's way. Pardon me, that was Doberstein, Kendall Doberstein, working on the far side. Speaking of players who I feel like, well, we've called their name a lot, and they've been a little bit of everywhere, Kendall Doberstein. Fortunately, though, she finds her squad down 4-zip. They actually call a foul on that one.
Yeah, there's a little bit of push in the back there on Lacanol there. So that was, for the freshman, that was a very smart piece of defending. You know, she kind of just put her body in front of the play. And, you know, that was not a freshman-like play there by Lacanol, you know, our first SEC freshman of the week.
State of Washington Player of the Year. Hey, they can never replace that. In 2025, she'll always be the first one to win it, right?
Hey, you know, that's one thing I never came close to winning. You know, I think they would have said, hey, you know, here's your congratulatory medal. You know, just please leave.
Stop us if you've heard this in the first half. Oklahoma battling and limiting Omaha's possession. Quickly back the other way. Good steal by Gunderson, and challenge will go Omaha's way with the throw in on the far side. Under 6:30 to go in the first half, excuse me. Could you imagine though, 4 quarters? Final score could be like 16-zip.
I mean, at this pace, yes. But then, you know, some of the average soccer games you may watch,
Feel like
it may feel like 4 quarters. I think, you know, running for 90 minutes would be enough. If they made this 4 quarters, you know, that'd be, what, my math isn't super great, 270, right?
Yeah, you're close. You're close.
Oh,
don't like that. Second corner for Omaha, actually third corner for Omaha. Good defense by the Sooners in a congested box. Now pushed back in by Bartlam and cleared out, at least in the short term, by Lincoln. Pardon me, that's Rayo. Juliet Rayo who's in. Throwing for Omaha. Campus has been a buzz the last, today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Starting on about Wednesday when the College Game Day crew came in. Started setting up on the north lawn, or excuse me, on the lawn in front of the library. From about that moment forward, there was a different buzz, and all these Michigan fans showed up out of nowhere, and it was quite the party last night at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. It's been a fun weekend for Sooner Athletics. Aaron Mansfield's volleyball team has had a good weekend. Now Matt Mott's squad is in the process of trying to put an exclamation point on it. They lead 4-zip here in the first half. But a long way to go in this one.
I think everyone's trying to one-up each other. You know, after the big football win, you know, Matt Mott said, you know, hey, you know, let me see what I can do here with this just prolific start the Sooners have had so far. And so, like you said, it's just a great weekend, you know, to be a Sooners fan.
Throw in far side will be Omaha's. Volleyball does have a pretty big one coming up this week against Florida State. Talk about that a little bit later. Bodies tumbling. And the Sooners will get the throw in here. Under 4 to go.
Once again, that was Sophie Morin just throwing her body on the line, winning that foul. You know, we say this all the time. Just she is someone that this Sooners team needed. She is someone who they just needed, that person who is not afraid to say, you know what? I'm going to have to make this hard tackle, and I'm probably going to get hurt, but that's okay because it stops, you know, it stops their possession. It stops them going forward. And she is just not afraid to put her body on the line.
Matt Mott saw something he doesn't like. Duffy is up for the kick. These are gorgeous things of beauty when Caroline Duffy's in charge of setting up those set pieces. What a smart veteran play, too, to clear it and avoid a potential corner. Credit on that, on the hustle play, to Addie LaRock. Soon as we go with the safe play here. All safe for now until that beautiful touch into the box. No, too much.
Beautiful ball in there by Rayo. I don't think Seti Ducati was expecting Rayo to play that ball in. And you can kind of see there she was kind of caught in her heels. But It was a beautiful ball, and Rayo has that in her locker. She's able to kind of see the pass that no one else sees, and Seti Ducati just was not ready for that pass.
4-0 Sooners. Well, there's Seti Ducati. Breaks free. Makes a move. Good defense. Now break for Omaha. Out ahead, hustling is Schmidt, but she'll be cut off by, and a very rare Drew Ligon mistake. Leads to the corner for Omaha.
Really unfortunate there. You saw Ligon go over and step to kind of slow the play down, and just her and Duffy were not on the right page. They normally are able to kind of play the ball back, and Duffy was just kind of stuck to her line because she wasn't expecting that ball getting played so far out wide. If you're Omaha here, though, you have to capitalize on this mistake. You know, you're not going to have a lot of mistakes, and these are ones that you circle and say, hey, we've got to get something out of this right here.
Grace Bartlam will handle the corner for Omaha. They hit the top of the crossbar, and their best scoring opportunity off a set piece off a corner. This one a little bit too far. Giving chase is Hampton. A lot of white jerseys battling her over there, including Ligon. One on two, and Sooners will clear it out. Minute straight up left in the first half. Sooners lead at 4-0. Omaha trying to get some momentum into the halftime locker room. Nothing there, and Caroline Duffy will have the goal kick.
That was a beautiful defensive play there by Kiki Smith, just stepping to the ball and saying, hey, I just want to slow you down, you know, cause you to make a mistake, and they had the deflection there. That's just smart defending by the transfer.
Oh, collision between teammates. Final 15 seconds here of the first half. Oklahoma will head to the locker room with a commanding 4-0 lead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
An absolutely outstanding start for the University of Oklahoma. 4 different goal scorers, 4 goals, and as we head to the halftime locker room, it's a party here in Norman. You get that energy hot early, and they had it. They continue to have it here in the second half. We're about to find out. Along with Nick McMillan, I'm Chris Blank. Thanks for joining us for Oklahoma Sooner Soccer against the Omaha Mavericks on the SEC Network Plus. Sooners looking to continue their historic start to the season. Omaha looking to break a 3-match winless streak. Throwing far side will be Omaha. Team switch directions here in the second half. Oh, right off the face of Ligon. Drew Ligon's uncle was a happy man last night in the Sooner Radio Network broadcast booth. Teddy Lehman, Oklahoma Sooner football legend. Butkus and Bednarik Award winner during his senior season. And now he serves as the analyst on the Sooner Radio Network. He's been a regular here. He and his wife Erin and their son Eddie. What an impact she's made in her first year.
You know, when you spoke to Coach Matt Mott at the beginning of the season, he first talked about how, you know, he had the potential to start 2 true freshmen on his back line, and that's something that will keep you up at night. But, you know, she doesn't look like a freshman.
No.
You know, she has played just above her age, and, you know, that is something this Sooners team needed when they lost so many defenders from last year's team. You know, they were worried about what are they going to do. But Ligon and Lacanol have just kind of stepped in and made that transition so smooth. And it's just, you know, that's really been a huge impact to how this Sooners team has played so far this season.
Now Milne works it ahead. Battle taken away from Peyton Ivins. Sooners will have the throw-in on the near side. That's Riley Brown. Brown will do it again. This is the first. I've watched every match in preparation for it today, and Matt Mott has come on my radio program quite often. Nick, this is the first time I've had a chance to see this team in person this year. And you were talking about the freshman. Oh, what a ball ahead. Hold that thought for a moment. Maybe a chance for Clark. Clark, what a play. Out of nowhere comes some help from Kayla Kiefer, but Omaha avoids it for now. And a throw in for the Mavericks. My point is, physically, you look out there and Juliga doesn't look like a freshman that's playing. You know, she looks like physically she belongs out here, and that's a big deal when you have someone playing as important of a position as she does on that back line.
Exactly. I mean, you got her, you know, just being a standstill in that defense. You've got Lacanol, who's another freshman who doesn't look like a freshman. I mean,
oh, here's a ball to the middle of the box. Ooh. Just too high.
I mean, they've got some girls who are just playing in big, but that just speaks to their leadership. You know, you've got Clifton, who has played more than 4,000 minutes. As you see here, Morrell just a nice little touch. Kiefer definitely trying to get something on that. Just gets it a little bit too high and wide. But, you know, as we speak about, this defense is just so strong. You know, you've got Clifton, who has just been that leadership. You've got Brown coming in that leadership, you know. It allows these two freshmen in Lacanau and Ligon to really play bigger and play with a little bit more confidence than they normally would if they were just back there by themselves.
Omaha. Near side, that's Presley Douglas. Douglas being challenged. Good defense by Dindis. She has a goal. They've credited Kayla Kiefer with 3 assists here in this match today, which ties an OU single game record as of now.
Wow.
Stop me if you've heard us say that a player looks like that they've been in the middle of everything. Add Kayla Kiefer to that mix.
You know, I feel like that's something we say every broadcast. Just we have another Sooner breaking a record here. I mean, that's just how good this Sooners team is. You know, they really went out in the transfer portal and got some players that they wanted. But, you know, I spoke about it a little in the first half. That just speaks to Coach Matt Mott and his coaching staff. You know, it's one thing for your head coach to really be in tune, but, you know, I have to give credit to the assistants and the director of operations. All of them have been with him for, you know, the past 3 seasons. And, you know, Coach Matt Mott bringing in Coach Beebe and Warren Russ, they've worked together before, and they are just all on the right page. So when they go and find a recruit, they're like, hey, we know this is exactly the girl that's going to fit our system. This is exactly the person who's going to fit our style. And then you've got Coach Heskey, who has played under Coach Matt Mott, so a player who knows exactly what he wants. Same thing with, you know, Georgia Russell. And so that just speaks to what they're trying to do here and just the massive change you see in Sooner soccer.
That one deflects off Dindis. Omaha will have the throw-in. It's a different world. It's a different world. Coach Mott's done a great job. Just a missed touch. Pack is there to collect it for Oklahoma. She works 1-on-2, now works at far side. Out on the flank, as coach called it when we talked to him, with Alexis Washington. A little quieter half so far from Washington, but only a handful of minutes in. See 39 straight up left in this match. Oklahoma looking to improve to 7-0-1 on the season. A lot of good communication still going on for Omaha. Their bench has stayed involved. If there was one thing that maybe we take from Tim Walters' conversation heading into half, he's, listen, we're not playing all that poorly. Oklahoma's just been on the attack like they might be here. Merle out wide to Washington. Good takeaway. Challenge and stolen by Schmidt. Lauren Schmidt tries to lead the rush for Omaha, but she'll be stalled for the moment by Canty. Pack to Dindis. Dindis works back towards the middle. What smooth moves by Morrell. Has it taken away. Pack does a good job, gets it back out to Washington. Now here comes Washington. 1-on-2. Wins the first battle. Oh, what a swift move. And she'll control for the moment. Laser off the back. And cleared for the moment. Thought the Sooners might have their first chance at a corner kick, but not the case. Good battle, good challenge. Won by El Canty. Here comes Brown. Left foot. What a pass. Too far. Corner, Oklahoma. First time today the Sooners will have a corner kick.
You know, and that's very rare saying, because the Sooners are one of the better teams in all of NCAA soccer. That, you know, I think they have 52 corners so far this season. So, you know, they average about 7-8 corners a game. And so for them not to have one in the first half, it's just really rare there for the Sooners.
They got Dindis. Lexi Dindis is going to handle this corner. What do you see, Nick?
You know, if it's like they've been all season, they're really trying just to whip this ball in and put it right on top of the keeper.
Called perfectly. Oh, just had it away. Battle on the inline. Good defense shielding that by Lauren Schmidt. No chance for Dindis to get back involved. Oklahoma stays up 4-0. Not able to add to its lead. Gorgeous day. Gorgeous weekend.
Had a little front, you know, move in, made it super enjoyable for all the tailgaters all weekend. I mean, and just
awesome.
made for a beautiful soccer game this Sunday.
It has. Here's Dindis, other side. Works it back to Brown. Brown and Dindis, little two-man game. He's working one-on-one, can't shake free. Brown will reset and they'll work it around. No need for any rush from the Sooners here. Clock obviously their friend. Up 4.
And this is one thing that the Sooners have been trying to add into just their play style. They just don't want to force things. You know, last year, the Sooners team, you know, when the ball was played out to Dindis there on the end line, they would have instantly just tried to whip the ball in. And this year, they're actually trying to say, hey, we don't like that play. We don't like what we see there going forward. So they just swing it around, and they're trying to find the perfect moments there. You see kind of El Canty make a little silly pass there, but you just see them trying to continue to say, hey, can we play the ball? Can we probe? Can we find the right moments to attack? And that just what brings this Sooner team, just makes them a little bit different. And so when teams try to scout OU, they really don't know what they're scouting for, because we can do so much.
Egan keeps it in for Oklahoma, but beautiful pass towards the penalty box and a good job. Hugger decided, I'll just go ahead and make that play. Any opportunity that Huggard's had to possess ball, she's had a shadow, and that shadow has been Kayla Kiefer. Good challenge by Clark. Pack has it taken away by Edwards, but only short-lived on the possession shift. Here's another ball towards the box. Good job playing it off the hop by Huggard. Relentless is a word that I would use to describe today, Nick.
You know, and I think it starts with Clark and Kiefer. You know, as we see here, you know, you got Huggard just sitting on top of her box, just waiting for Clark to move. I mean, it has just been relentless from those two in the top. But that's what you want out of your team. You know, it's the press starts from up top, and the pressure, and it's all just the relentlessness, and the goals getting scored start from your two strikers that you have, and Kiefer and Clark have just been all over the place so far today.
Oklahoma will sub back in Juliet Rayo. Saw her for a while in the first half. Got some quality minutes for Mad Mott. Collision. Players look to be okay. Ligon's up. Is there a part of Matt Mott, you think, that wants to see his team maybe find the back of the net a couple more times here today? Or
I mean, every coach wants to see their team just continue to be relentless, but I think in this specific game, if you're Coach Matt Mott, you're just really trying to gear towards this week. You know, SEC plays, you know, is coming up, and so you just want to have all the momentum you can possibly have before you go into this grueling SEC schedule that the Sooners have. And so if you're Coach Matt Mott, you know, we spoke about at halftime, you don't want them to give up. You don't want them to kind of, you know, take their foot off the gas.
No.
You want them to continue just this onslaught that we have here. And so, you know, it's one of the things we're already seeing in the second half, just the Sooners being on the front foot.
And Kiefer's leading the charge. A left foot cross is too high and too wide. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see him change at all based on that attack. Nor should they.
And which is going to make an interesting game to watch in this second half, because the longer this game goes on, you know, there's going to be a point where Nebraska has to say to themselves, hey, are we wanting to, you know, go out and try to get something from this game?
Right.
And, you know, if they have that moment, then they're going to start pushing more numbers going forward themselves. And so with the Sooners being so attack-minded in the start, and with potentially Nebraska Omaha having to say, hey, we're wanting to get something out of this too, you know, it could make a fun final 15, 20 minutes.
Got a little second half feeling out process between two teams here. Limited opportunities. Sooners have been on the front edge of that. 4-0. Brown is happy to move that one ahead. Kiefer battling one-on-one with Isabel Milne. Will get the bad side of that whistle. .30 minutes, 43 seconds left. Sooners up 4. Good challenge by Brown. She went up over the back of Ivins, and Hack able to clear it away. Ligon's on the far side. Tries to play it ahead, but wide to a breaking Alexis Washington.
We saw the idea there from Ligon. I would have liked her to maybe play it a step or two earlier, because Alexis Washington had to pause her run once or twice. And you kind of see there, since she had to kind of, Ligon was waiting for the right, just perfect pass. You know, when you've got Alexis Washington out on the wing, you can really just kind of play anywhere and just let Alexis Washington do what Alexis Washington does. And so, that's where that freshmanness comes into play. You know, that's
I like
where
that word.
That's where if she could have just played it just an ounce quicker, or just did that a little bit more, then maybe we would have had something going towards goal.
Physical challenge by Clark. Not a late whistle. That's a really late whistle on the Clark collision that she, and not saying it's the wrong call between her and Presley Douglas, just came well after the play had been made.
I think they're waiting to see if there was any advantage going on there.
Good
and, Nebraska Omaha has really won all of those, second balls. And so that was a good bit of advantage there played. But Clark definitely did have her hands all over the defender there.
Dindis one-on-one with Doberstein. Dindis wins it. That one clears everyone, pushes up Huggard a bit. Hassler working far side. And the freshman does it again. Legan clears it back. And Legan go up and get that. Too much on that one, taken away. Maybe Omaha trying to get something going here. Good job by Douglas. Douglas right foots it ahead to Doberstein. Quick touch, stolen. Oh, just a little bit too far off that piece from Dindis, throwing for Omaha. Sydney Brown, it's funny watching her in the first half be everywhere, and in the second half, defensively, she's been everywhere again. Now working a little bit more towards Legan's side of the field. Who's an odds if that throw-in will stay with Omaha? Good look at Lexi Dindis, sophomore, transferred in from Middle Tennessee State University. She's been quite a find. Oh, she takes a tumble in the box. Grabs the foot, but looks like she's going to be okay.
Looks like just a little bit of a coming together there, you know, nothing intentional. But, you know, you spoke about it. Dindis was one of the few Sooners players that actually didn't get to spend the spring with the Sooners team. And when you speak to Coach Matt Mott, you know, she came in late summer and they were like, hey, she's this good. We're just going to put her right into our starting 11 because she has impressed us that much, you know, and that just speaks what a find Dindis was for the Sooner team.
I mean, there's just nothing there right now for Omaha. Sooners defense has stepped up in a big way. Good job moving up by Lacken. Well, I say that, and here's an opportunity. Pass ahead to Doberstein. Doberstein challenged by Dindis. Good job by Sydney Brown there. Doberstein in the corner with Brown, and she'll work it off Brown for the corner kick.
And if you're Doberstein, that's exactly what you want right there. If you're in the corner and you're by yourself, you just have to get something out of it. So the fact that they were able to get a corner there, you know, Omaha is going to be extremely happy with that little bit of piece of play.
Doberstein waits. Move Schmidt right in front of that corner of the goalpost. Nope, nothing there. Look at that play. What a battle. Kiefer wins it. She'll hustle it down. But Omaha quickly back in, and a smart move. Big time by the senior. Caroline Duffy says, I got this. Clear out of here. Omaha stays scoreless. What'd you see, Nick?
I mean, that's just the aggressiveness by Kiefer. We talked about it. She has just been everywhere, and now you see her come up defensively. I mean, she's just been a massive addition for the Sooners team. She wins that second ball. You saw Clark head the ball out, and then, boom, Kiefer's there to win the second ball after that. And that's just, you know, a beautiful piece of play by the Sooners team. And they realize they want to keep this shutout currently. They you know, that is something now you're in the moments where you're saying, hey, how can we continue to keep this, you know, this game with them having 0 goals? And so everyone is trying to continue that success here for the Sooners.
Little break for Legan. Cassie Clifton's going to check in. One of the more trusted pieces on this Sooner squad. I'd say defense. More trusted pieces, period. She'll get another throw in here. Omaha has possession. Clifton will chase this one down. Battle between her and Doberstein. And Caroline Duffy says, just reset, y'all. Let's take a moment. Sooners actually going to have this throw in here, and it's going to be Clifton that'll handle it. Naomi Clark has a little bit of momentum. Here we go. First good run for the Sooners in a minute. What a pass. What a pass from Kiefer ahead to Clark. Can she do anything with it? Stops, crosses, knocked down in the middle. Good defensive play by Birch. And Omaha will clear it out. Mentioned we might get some excitement late with both these teams pushing up. Here's Ivins going 1-on-3. No real anything there except for looked like almost a fall.
Yeah, I think she just kind of tripped over herself there.
Ooh, what a move by Bartlam. She's working against Washington. Good competitive battles for possession here on every single pass. Now a little bit of space. Maybe an opportunity. What a touch ahead. Is there a shot? No, ball's loose. Covered by Huggard. Body's flailing and a paw comes out of nowhere to knock that one away.
And just a beautiful pass there by Pack, and just, you know, there's not a foul there. That is just beautiful 50-50 play. You know, if you're Clark, it's so unfortunate because, you know, if you just get one more step there, then that's a chance for you to get the penalty because the defender's going to have to come through you. But, you know, when you ask about defending, you know, how do you defend in the box? Right there was no hands. You know, both girls were going 50-50. That was just a beautiful battle. And then you see the keeper come out there and swarm up that ball. That was just a beautiful piece of play on both sides there.
Almost an opportunity for Washington on the incredible touch from Michelle Pack. Omaha ends up with the throw-in on the far side. Pack again. Oklahoma will now work possession. Here comes Clifton ahead to Dindis. Beautiful left foot cross. No one's home though. But a challenge from behind. I don't think Bartlam saw the attacking Kiefer, who steals it. Battle though. Kiefer's slow to get up. She's holding her right ankle as play continues. Pack outside to Dindis. Slow to get up. We're keeping an eye on a Sooner behind the play, and what a near incredible pass, just slightly out of the reach of both Alexis Washington. Looked like for a moment she might have a shot at that.
It looked like we had Morrell and Washington on the backside there.
And Naomi Clark was there too. Let's watch this again.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Pat, just a beautiful ball, Rayo across, boom, yep, goes through two defenders. But you know, you spoke about it. That's what Kiefer does to this team, you know. And when we spoke to Coach Matt Mott on Kiefer at the very beginning of the year, you know, he mentioned how the team was almost taken back with how aggressive she was, and just how just relentless and how just motivated she was with every single play. She wanted to win. She wanted to do that. And so, you know, you saw there, the play thought was lost. You know, Omaha thought that they had finally played the ball out. They had won a little bit, and boom, once again, Kiefer just throwing herself all over the place. And that is what is different about this Sooners team. You've got 11 girls, you know, on the field, and you've got 26 that are on the bench that are just willing to say, hey, I'm going to put my body on the line for the Sooners team for us to be successful.
Good news, by the way, Kiefer was able to get up, get off the field. She get off the field, off the field on her own power. Looked scary at first whenever she reached down and grabbed that ankle, I'm not going to lie. But I think also it's a magnification, Nick, what you've been talking about. They're going to go all out regardless.
And you know, you're up 4-0. You know, the way this game's going, I think she deserves a little bit of a rest. You know, she you know, like you mentioned earlier, she's credited to a goal and 3 assists. Yeah. I mean, she has had herself a day for sure.
Touch far side, Murrow. She's got it again. Oh, what a pass to Brown. Skip free. Sooners may be able to reset here. As tracking in from behind is Clifton. Clifton to Dindis. Dindis, what a beautiful pass ahead. Room for Rayo. Touchback Brown. Left foot laser. What a save. Huggard was there to make the play.
You know, and this all started from a beautiful ball there by Dindis as she played the ball into Rayo. And then once we see here, we talked about it in the first half, how good a touch Seti Ducati has. Beautiful touch. She switches foot. Boom. She would have definitely liked to have that back. You know, she saw what she was trying to do. Switch that back on her left foot and trying to hit it back post. She just didn't get her foot all the way through the ball. That is a beautiful piece of play there by the Sooners.
Yeah, my bad. Luciana Seti Ducati had the shot there, not Riley Brown. Throwing for the Sooners. Riley Brown stands at midfield right now. Would love to have an offensive opportunity like that. Clifton. Good one-on-one battle. To call one on the Sooners here, and Dindis can't believe it, but she'll hustle back. Yeah, the referee even had a nice smile at that one. One of the fans yelling out, nobody else saw it, at a moment whenever it was as quiet as a match can be.
And that's what makes soccer great. You know, not only do you get to have, you know, just these goal bursts that you may see here from the Sooners, but you always will have a fan or two that will say, hey, you know what? I think we know how to be a ref better than the refs we have.
And the ref in that moment having a good attitude about it and a smile. Also helps makes things a little bit easier whenever, for Oklahoma, you jumped out to a 4-zip lead and really aggressive collision. Both players get up okay on the far side. That's Naomi Clark, so good to see her hop right up and be ready to go. Sooners looking for their 13th win without a loss against non-conference opponents here at John Crane Field. In fact, we saw John Crane, who was here at the game today, came by the booth to say, hey, he was wanting to know the SEC score, but he's won that Tennessee score.
You know, he's already looking forward to the Sooners, you know, in this conference play. But, you know, as that stat just brought up, you know, this is just a different place for the Sooners than what it has been. You know, this year alone, we've set the single, you know, season attendance record, which was over 3,000 for a soccer game, and that is massive. We're outscoring opponents 16-2. I mean, Matt Mott has really built this into a fortress, and it is a tough place for opponents to come and play.
Corner opportunity for the Sooners. Ball's free. Big right foot shot. No. Claire Curran is checked in. Merrill had a good shot there.
One of the things I would have loved to see from Morel there, the ball made its way all the way to the back post. I would have loved to see Morel, rather than trying to shoot that on goal, just lace it right across the, you know, the face of the goal, and that way it makes the keeper have to think a little bit. She was being a little bit selfish, which, you know, in that moment you don't mind, but when you've got so many Sooners attacking forward, you just put it back in the box. You know, us soccer coaches say it all the time. You want to put it into a dangerous position. You want to make the opposing team, as we saw with, you know, Nebraska in the first half, Nebraska Omaha. You know, if you put the ball in a space where you can just create chances, you know, that's how goal scoring gets done. And that's what's been, you know, really successful for the Sooners. You know, they've averaged more than 8 corner kicks a game.
Job by Brown. And the Sooners will be content. A little possession in Clifton. I say content. That's not by any stretch of the imagination to say that Allie Lackenlow or any player out here on the pitch right now just wants to play out the final 14 minutes of this match. You can see the physicality near the inline as Claire Curran was battling on the far side. 4-zip Sooners. All 4 goals scored in the first half. And Mott's starting to go deep in his bench. Canty's going to get an opportunity here. Canty to come. Well, I say he's going to go deep in his bench. Canty played a lot in the first half. Not necessarily this substitution, but maybe here in a bit with a 4-goal lead. Maybe.
You know, you say that, but we've already had 20 different Sooners that have played in this game today.
Oh, wow.
And so, and I believe, you know, you may get 1 or 2. One of the things we didn't mention is that there was a goalkeeping change. So Morgan Paley came into goal. But, you know, that's what has made this Sooner team different. You know, the second he goes to his bench, nothing changes. You know, he's able to just keep up the intensity and keep up the goal threats and the defensive prowess that we've had here, which that has made this Sooner team so dangerous to stop. Because when he goes to his bench, you normally are expecting, you know, the play to kind of lower a little bit. But this year for this team, the play actually rises. And so it's a definite just benefit to have if you're Coach Matt Mott and the Sooners.
A little touch. Opportunity for Canty. Works it to Dindis. Dindis has some space. Her cross is cleared out. And that'll work its way back to Lackenlow. Lackenlow works it up to Clifton. 12:20 left. Ooh, that almost found its way to the foot of Sedekate. Now Morgan Paley is in. The redshirt freshman, redshirted last year in the net. There's a good look at her. They like her a lot. They're going to give her opportunities like this to get her feet wet. She appears to be the future in goal for this program.
You know, and it's just tough when you've got such a, you know, huge presence in Duffy as your starter. And so whenever they can get her minutes, they love to put her in there because, like you said, they are really high on her.
Look at Naomi Clark has a goal. Credit her with an assist earlier. Let's double check on our stats. And there she is, still just pressuring every minute she gets. Now she'll get a break. Marilyn Mulaney will make her way back into the match. Dindis and Clark, who have been fantastic here today, each have a goal. Both getting a little breather here. Judas. 1-on-2 now as the pressure comes from LaRock. Gets it to the middle of the box. Chance for a big right foot. Oh, collision. Sophie Morin was looking to put that one through the net. I got tangled up with Isabel Milne, who challenged that. Now here's a ball to the box. It's loose. It's free. It's picked up. Wow. Good battle by Hugger to stay in front of that one. And with that one,
Hugger definitely was putting her body on the line there. We saw that cross in. She knew that there was 2 attacking Sooners player, and so that's why that ball kind of bobbed a little bit, but she was definitely on top of it, able to scoop the ball back up.
Goal and an assist, by the way, for Clark. She did get an assist on the Kayla Kiefer goal, 25-12 in the first half. In our pregame conversation, Coach, you talked about the need for Oklahoma to shake off what might have been a couple of less than Matt Mott-like performances, and I think we've seen that here today. Spades from Oklahoma.
You know, and that was a real concern if you're a Sooner fan. You know, you were worried that you come out to this hot start, you know, you're averaging 4 goals a game, and then the past 2 games you've only, you know, scored 1 goal a game. You know, you had the 1-goal win against North Texas, and then you go play Texas State and it's a 1-1 tie. And so we were interested to see what this game would look like. And then, you know, just an amazing first half by the Sooner team, just coming out to 4 goals and really controlling this second half as well. But, you know, this is the definite kind of, you know, play you want as you head into SEC play.
Charlie Court will handle this free kick for Omaha. Under 10, 9-11 left. Job getting that ball cleared from danger for the Sooners. Tudis takes it away for the moment. Now she'll maintain possession. A little too far for Clifton. Chases it down, clears it out. Lexi Dindis, 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this match. Found the back of the net, and it's been all Sooners ever since. The only thing missing is a second half goal. Tudis, beautiful header. Just a little bit out of the reach of Seta Ducati. 4-0 Oklahoma. Sooners have made sure that nothing today for Charlotte Huggard came easy, haven't they? I mean, even this late in the game, right there, whenever she had it, was Seta Ducati. Oh, beautiful pass ahead, just out of the reach on the header. As Seta Ducati.
Seta Ducati gets called off sides there, but you're not going to mind that aggressive play, you know. Like we mentioned earlier, they had the quick restart. They try to play it quick, and Seta Ducati just has to time her run a little bit better. But if you're Coach Matt Mott, you're going to be okay with that because you're still being aggressive. You know, you've now played more than 82, 83 minutes, you know, and your team is still wanting to be on the front foot, you know. That's something that you're going to highlight, saying, hey, this game, we never gave up. The whole time, we were playing as hard as we could.
Look at Seta Ducati. What are they going to call here?
We got a penalty.
There you go, in the box.
And just like I mentioned, just that aggressive play and just that going, we see yellow card given, but Seta Ducati not stopping, continuing to be relentless. And a little bit of unfortunate play there by just a little bit of miscommunication, but Seta Ducati putting her body on the line, saying, hey, I see the miscommunication, and I've got to get in front, and then I know they're going to have to drag me down.
Well, here's the opportunity. Sophie Morin is going to take the free kick. The penalty kick, excuse me. Looking for the first second half goal. Up 4-0. Can they make it? 5. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Money back of the net. It's a 5-goal match for the Sooners, and they are rolling the Omaha Mavericks.
I'm really happy there for Sophie Morin because she plays a defensive midfielder. You know, she doesn't get a lot of those moments to be, you know, in front of goal. And so we saw earlier as she was trying to lace the ball, but just a beautifully taken penalty, you know, that just, you know, that is the reward that she deserves. She has been all over the place, throwing her body on the line, doing everything for the Sooner team. So I am extremely happy for Sophie to get that goal.
As is the Sooner bench. Look, Kaylee Kiefer first to greet her. First goal of the season. Play Freebird at John Crane Field. It's 5-0 Sooners. I keep going back, Nick, and I know I've mentioned it a couple of times to you, to your pre-game one, whenever we talked about Coach Nick McMillan's keys to the game. It was real simple. You just wanted to see this team, not to say it was a funk by any stretch of the imagination, but just maybe have a little bit more of that edge that you saw early in the season. And boy, they've responded in a big way. 5-0. And a great moment for Sophie Morin here in the closing stanza of this one.
You know, and I agree with what you said there. It wasn't necessarily a funk. You know, it was one of those where you had just been so dominant. You know, you had been on the front foot. You had been beating teams, you know, by 3-4 goals at a time. And you just kind of slowed the tempo down. And so they were still winning games. They weren't losing. So, you know, credit to where the Sooners are playing. But you want to see them continue to be dominant, you know. One of the things that Matt Mott always preaches is that, you know, we are going to be for full 90 minutes. We are just going to run. We are going to be aggressive. We are going to be nonstop. And, you know, for the last 2 games, you kind of saw that slow down just a little bit. And so it's beautiful to see this Sooners team, you know, today just being on the front foot every single waking moment.
Beautiful pass Was that Sedekate with a touch? Oh my goodness, what a pass. And dude, it's just out of her reach. Or maybe she got a little bit on.
You know, and I feel like we say this once or twice a game. Riley Brown can play an amazing ball with her left foot. You know, every chance they get, they love her playing that ball in because she can play some dangerous balls. And that was just a beautiful left-footed cross there by Riley Brown.
It is trying to work it ahead. She does. An opportunity for Curran. Curran, what a pass. Sedekate, if she can settle, turns, blocked. You will reset. Under 5. 5-0 Sooners. Tudis. Still working. Slide tackle taken away by Presley Douglas. Sooners will have the throw. Kiki Smith, who's in the game, works it towards the middle of the box. Now she'll try to control it, but no, taken away. Battle, good physical battle. Smith's been right in the middle of a little bit of everything since she's checked in. Ivins works it to the middle of the field. We have away. Slow to get up for Blanc, Breath, Bacchiani.
Attention all Mustang Youth Soccer. If you're participating in the post-game penalty kicks, please meet at the bottom of the west side grandstand.
I have a chance to talk to one of the players of the game coming up in the post-game show. Oklahoma now just 3:30 away from, well, 3:36 to be exact, from advancing to 7-0-1 on the season. Historic start for Oklahoma, one of the best in program history. Sooners will have possession here. I think if you're a Oklahoma fan that's tuned in today, if you're that guy right there, Matt Mott, you got about everything you wanted. I think if you're an Omaha fan and Tim Walters, still trying to now shake out of what will turn into 0-3-1 in their last 4 games, but trying to get things right before the start of conference play for Omaha.
You know, and one of the things that we have to mention, you know, if you're Coach Tim Walters, you've really done a lot right today. You know, and we spoke to him at halftime. You know, he was really like, you know, it's not like they're just dominating the whole game. You know, they're getting shots, they're getting corners. And so, you know, I think this is a moment where if you're Coach Tim Walters, you can say, hey, we've done a lot right, so we can really build off this, you know, coming into a very hostile environment, playing the number 19 team in the nation. You know, this is something that when you look back at film, you can say, guess what, guys? We did a lot right today. And we really, you know, if we would have changed up 1 or 2 things, you know, if the ball would have bounced our way, you know, we could have gotten a goal or 2 out of this game.
Right now, a yellow card for the bench. Tim Walter, after all that praise, apparently had a few words for our referee who wasn't having it.
I think that was Curse, the commentator there. You know, we had spoke
about jinx in the free throws.
I know, yeah. We spoke to, you know, how well he had looked at that, and then, you know, the second we say that, he gets given a yellow card. So a little bit unfortunate there, but you know, like we mentioned, there's a lot for both sides to really be proud of.
Yeah. Presley Douglas works it ahead, but no. Boy, Kiki Smith, redshirt junior from Arizona, missed last year with an injury, back now. Washington State transfer, making the most of the few minutes she's having here down the stretch. And give that the corner. They're going to say that hit off a Sooner, so we'll have another corner kick here. Charlie Court will get it for Omaha. We're under 2 minutes to go in this one. Sooners shutout will not stay intact. The header on the set piece on the corner kick puts Omaha on the board just over the outstretched hand of Morgan Paley. It's 5-1. Beautiful job. Maybe it just took Coach Walters getting a little bit feisty with the officials. Oh, just out of reach. What a beautiful, beautiful job on the header. And that is an Omaha goal. It's 5-1. So now if you're Matt Mott, you get a little bit more that you can. Isabel Milne will get credit with the goal. It's her second of the season. Double checking who they gave it to. Isabel Milne, sophomore out of Ontario, Canada. Didn't play last year. Second goal this season to make it 5-1.
And I think that was one of the things we mentioned. Just, you know, we spoke to Coach Matt Mott at halftime, and he talked about trying to finish games, trying to just to be on top of everything. And you saw there just where they had one or two silly mistakes that led to that corner kick, and then the defending on the corner kick, you know, was just not the greatest. And so if you're Coach Matt Mott, you know, you're finding moments where you can say, hey, girls, we did everything right for 89 minutes. You know, this was a minute that, you know, when we get into SEC play, this is where we're going to have to highlight to be great for a full 90 minutes, man. And, you know, Matt Mott has really been amazing so far this season, just with how they've played. And so he's still learning. You know, this is a young team. You know, they've got a lot of young players coming in. They've got a lot of freshmen that are starting. And so there's those moments where we can learn. And so the Sooners have got to definitely be happy because it's not costing them games.
But they're coaching moments, and the Sooners get some of their swagger back. A dominating performance puts an exclamation point on a special weekend on campus. The Oklahoma Sooner soccer team improves to 7-0 on the season with just the one tie. And with their 5 goals today, it's the most they've scored in a match this season. They beat Omaha 5-1. Dominating. We'll recap it all when we come back right here on the SEC Network Plus.